So, yun ang isang pinaglalaban ng mga lalaki. Pero kung titingnan natin, ang ating batas, the Revised Penal Code and other special laws are also relevant that can be used by men who have been suffering from abuses of the women, women who had dating relationships. And
Or
others
let's
also.
say gay relationship, man to man.
The laws are not as comprehensive as 926 as to that, na dinidefine yung gender roles when it comes to men. Pero for example, physical abuse ang nasuffer, tas man-to-man relationship.
Right.
You could sue under, say,
Physical injuries.
Oh, pwede.
Yes.
Or harassment, if you're being
Harassment or physical
pwede.
injuries, serious
Oh.
physical injuries.
Kunyari, stalking, meron din namang
Yeah,
voyeurism,
exactly.
meron din namang mga
Yes.
ganon. So, marami naman. It's just that
Hindi siya dun
This
sa
violence against
specific-
women is too special for women
it's a
and
special
children.
law, actually.
Yes.
Oo.
So there should be another, this should be updated then.
Well,
Others-
there are
others-
There should be
moves.
another-
Oo.
Others are saying that there must be, but lawmakers, and even if for us, if we look into the law, there are remedies. There is
It's just not as
no,
specific as this
Yes.
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 Actually, the RA 9262 or the violence against women was enacted because it recognizes the vulnerability of women.
Especially children also.
And children in the domestic setting. Kumbaga, sige, andun na tayo, meron ding na-hurt na lalaki. It's just that usually, we recognize that it's the women and children who are targeted by these kinds
Well,
of
especially
violence.
in the Philippines. Kasi
Pero hindi ito usapin kung sinong malakas
sinong malakas,
or mahinang gender in the society. I think this is just a recognition that there exists actual
Inequality.
facts,
A
na
disparity,
and vulnerabilities in
in the society, which is common.
for children
Pero there are
especially.
moves na actually to provide some sort of same type of relief for men.
yes, for men and for the LGBT.
The LGBT, kasi ang
community.
the problem na lang kasi is that the common notion, the macho society teaches you not to speak out.
Exactly.
Alam mo yun?
But
So,
time
we have
has
to change.
changed
yeah,
really.
but the
Yes.
point is, if you're gonna sue somebody under a specific law, for example, to make the lawyer's job easier, you give us proof. So if you didn't do anything about it, how will we prove it?
Yes.
Alam mo yun? So you have to be diligent enough to do
Yes.
your part, for example.
Yes, proving, documenting. So you have to prove, you have to document if you are suffering from physical abuse
May cellphone
or
na
emotional
ngayon.
abuse.
You have to
So
report.
uso na ngayon, 'di ba?
Selfie.
Yes,
You can take a
mag-take ng selfie ng mga pasa-pasa
Yeah.
or kung may
Mag-vlog
violence
ka.
or
Gusto
may
mo.
CCTV yung bahay, you can make use of all this. But we have to remember also that the social media page is not the best
Avenue,
place or
right.
venue for you to bring out your causes. Otherwise, you would even suffer more because there are bashers, there are many people who would look into your case. But once you have experienced this, I think the best thing you have to do is to go to the proper person, either the
Or the
police or the
barangay,
barangay
for
or
example.
women's and children's desk. And I think proper measures in proper authorities. I think
Right.
that's a proper way.
And there are a lot of NGOs also that help
yeah.
psychologically. So if you're still in the confused stage and you're not sure if
You're suffering from some sort of-
whatever abuse, physical, sexual, psychological, you can go to these NGOs. I'm sure some of them have Facebook pages already.
Especially
and you can
now,
easily
we're
chat.
high on mental health.
Right.
So
exactly.
we're high on mental health. Mental health doesn't have a gender. So I think it's high time for everybody to speak out if they're feeling some sort of
I think so,
abuse or trauma or suffering or anything. Because this time and age, that we should really give opportunity to everybody, whether women, LGBT, or so on and so forth.
Exactly. And we have to change. I think that's why I
And
was
I think
earlier.
that is where empowerment comes in. And women, men, if you know your rights, if you know your basic rights, so you may be able to bring this matter to the proper authorities, and you have to basically protect yourself. It's not bad to cry with this person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just that we have to find our support group. We have to find the legal means in order to carry out our causes. And if there is a need to speak out, we really have to speak out. Because if you are silent and your witness would only be your groom or your
You
doors,
slept on your rights.
you will be sleeping on your rights. Much
Exactly.
worse, you will be suffering. And that's not only today, but forever. Much worse if it's physical.
Yeah.
It may cost even your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. All right, so that wraps up our discussion, I think, of domestic
Very
violence.
interesting.
Yeah, very
Very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, I know. All right, for my takeaway for a man and advising a woman or a mother or a sister, I think it's time to report if you are suffering from any violence or any abuse. So you go to the proper police authority in your barangay or in your municipality or city. And it's always good to protect your rights. Stand up. Speak up.
Yeah, and my advice as a woman who is a lawyer for men, for example, who are suffering forms of abuse, come on, be proactive, okay? If you feel something is wrong, then speak out. I mean, it's quite taboo, but we shouldn't be as timid about anything that bothers us because, you know, anything that you do on a daily basis becomes a habit. So if it becomes a habit that you're abused, then it's not a good place to be in.
I know, right?
Yeah. So just be diligent enough. You have your rights, even if you're a man and LGBTQ. Know your rights. There are shows like this, okay, that provide some sort of legal relief or legal advice
Or
to
knowledge.
people, or knowledge, legal knowledge to people. So use it, okay? And then there's internet as well. There are a lot of avenues for you to learn how to fight for your own rights. So that's my
That's
Yeah.
right.
takeaway.
Yes,
I
and
know.
for the women out there, and not just women, even men or the LGBT community, if you're, don't think that marriage or that you are anyone's property. Because the feudal days are over,
Exactly.
right? We are now
I know,
in
right?
the digital age.
I know, right?
I know,
And
right?
we should always be empowered. And being empowered is a choice. If you choose to be empowered, then you will be. Violence, total no-no.
I know, right? And she is married.
Yeah, pero sa surveys, diba?
Oh,
Usually
it's
men
usually
talaga are
naman.
more likely to.
Not at all. Not true at all times.
Oh! Welcome back, guys. So I think we have a very interesting and controversial topic. What are we talking about?
Parang kilala ko yung nasa loob ng sasakyan na. Kilala mo ba?
Hindi. Ano ba yun? Besh, asawa mo.
Anong ginagawa niya rito?
Ay, hindi ko alam, Besh. May kasama siya, Besh.
You got it right. We will be talking about cheating.
Specifically concubinage and adultery.
As you know, there's a saying, huwag kang mamangka sa dalawang ilog.
I know, right? More of that in our next episode.